We live? We're in this thing?
We in this thing.
They did it again.
One more
We've seen
time.
that show before. Son of a biscuit. Kinda, so close, kinda. Welcome to the Cowboys DLLS postgame show with me and Vach and Aisha, which starts meow. Kind of felt like Baltimore, honestly. Kind of felt like Baltimore.
Yeah, man. You know, we kind of look weird for a little bit, and when we decide to look great, we look great.
Yeah.
We go back doing that same old nonsense that we was doing that made us look bad. Oh, yeah, it's just like Baltimore.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody, no matter where you're watching. I'm Jeff. That's Vach. Oh, yeah, that's me.
That's Jeff.
That's Vach.
Hey, Bachi.
Lombardicus.
That's Aisha Morrison. We're here to talk about it.
Yeah.
You're funny.
We're here to talk about it.
You're funny.
Who you mad at? Put that in the chat.
It's plenty of people to be mad at.
Who you mad at? Who you mad at? Everybody. Thank you to C Black in the super chat. Thank you to our guy KG. After every Cowboys game, I become more and more like Jeff. I'm just enjoying football at this point. Can't let this team take emotional control over me when they care less than I do.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
That's just sports, though.
How do we start this thing, though, Jeff? How do we attack this? Do we go where we started, where it ended, big picture, small picture? What we do, man? What we do to it?
I think we got to talk about the third quarter.
That was butt.
I mean, to be outscored 21-0.
What happened right there? Why did they score? What did that surge come from? Collinsworth said we got wore down. We was tired. I don't think we was wore down and tired in the third quarter.
They abandoned the run, I felt like. And although the run game wasn't explosive in any way, it definitely had a purpose in this game, especially to start this game. I mean, they were getting like 4 yards a carry. I mean, Zeke and Dalvin Cook early. So it was like, yeah, you're not getting a lot from it, but you're keeping them honest. You're getting a couple first downs. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they just completely went aerial attack. Just like in this last drive where they threw the ball 4 times.
3 minutes
with
left.
3 minutes left.
2 minute
the 2 minute warning.
Yeah.
You have timeouts.
That's kind of what they did on the 2 drives before to go touchdown, though.
Facts.
But
However,
but those were, all right, we're going to do this rub route here. We're going to manufacture that. We're going to get this little motion going. We're going to play action a little bit. But the last drive was like
static.
The same stuff that we've been doing to get here.
Yeah, and what's frustrating to me, and I was saying it this whole time during this game, there are key moments. Y'all know this as former players. There are key moments in games that shift momentum, and also it just means something to what the game within the game, right? There was a moment early, like it was right before the half, like when the Cowboys didn't score, didn't do nothing with that drive. If it trickled down into the third quarter.
Sure.
I don't understand why when they get in these serious in-game situations, you're not getting in your best play. Why does everything feel so rushed when you have the opportunity to dictate pace here, to slow down the game, and to find your best plays? And I feel like in football, don't coaches have that? Like, this is the probability of this working is the highest. Why do these situations feel so rushed in games? Because they could have won that game. They played like absolute crap. Could have won that game. 3 minutes, bro? And you do that? I'm hot. I'm really upset because I know they played like McCrap a lot of this game. But to be in that situation and have the opportunity to win that game and you do that.
To give more context to what you're saying,
You
though,
say
right?
it. You say it.
Just to give a little more context to what you were saying. On that drive where we did score, we did a fantastic job of finding or just making CeeDee Lamb open. We made CeeDee Lamb open, right? All the other times it was like, all right, CeeDee Lamb.
Get open.
Go get open.
Do something.
Now it's like, I'm going to run this little cross. And we don't run many crosses. But I'm going to run this little cross and then up to make the DBs kind of bump into each other and manufacture some. And it was like, man, that was purposeful. Also, the entire game, which kind of got us whooped in general, but Terrence had a hard time.
Facts.
But on that drive where we scored at the end, oh, man, we got people helping over there with Terrence. But we got Zeke stepping up and thumping people in the ribs. And, boy, we get to the last drive, and I was feeling good. And I was like, all right, Mike, that's how you're supposed to drive. From now on, that's how you drive. And he went right back to that thing that he did in the first few quarters. He didn't run the football. Not that we should be trusting Zeke in the first place, but you trusted Zeke to get here. At least slow your pace down a little bit. You said it. We look rushed. We look rushed at the end. I say it as a joke, and my audience knows this. If you don't miss show, I think Mike get nervous, man. I think Mike get nervous. I think when the game comes down to that little thing that we do, all right, let's throw a 9 route to Turpin right now. For what? Get Ferguson involved. Or let's do something short to let Ferguson get us yak yards. Like that's a reliable play to us. That's a high percentage reliable play to us.
Fact.
Ferguson getting yak, CeeDee Lamb over the middle somewhere getting yak. I'll take a possession type play to Jalen Tolbert. The 9 to Turpin is nonsense.
Yeah, and he placed it as perfectly as you can place it. But Turpin, I promise I ain't trying to be funny, y'all.
Turpin's not that guy.
Turpin is my size. Turpin's catch radius is my size. Yeah. It's not a high probability throw and catch. It doesn't matter if he placed it perfectly, because I saw you tweet about it, Jeff. It just felt like, that's not your best play. I know it's not.
Vash
what are you doing?
Zeke too much. 10 for 34. Vash hating on Zeke.
I'm hot.
That's 3.4.
What you got, Jeff? Let Jeff.
Dalvin got 2. I'm scared to say. I'm scared to say what I think about all the things you guys just said.
They're bad, and they're just bad to you.
I'm
scared to say what
you think. We're overthinking it, and we're just not a good football team.
I think the biggest issue is that they're not a good football team.
Yes,
sure.
That's it. We know that.
And I think there are plenty of things about Mike McCarthy and some of the stuff that they did, and like we'll get to see the tape of this. I know on one of the plays on the last drive, apparently Babe Laufenberg on the broadcast said, yeah, there were 3 receivers in the same area on that one. That's probably not the best idea.
Houseway.
So many times, there were a lot of plays where what we see on the broadcast is the pocket. We see Dak. And it's like, oh, why is he still holding the ball 4 seconds later? And the answer might be, he's sitting there like, are you kidding me? I actually have protection. I would love to go somewhere with this, but there's nowhere to go with this. Mm-hmm. And I think some of the things that we get upset about is just because it didn't work or because they lost. Because, yeah, you got 3 minutes, but you got to go a little bit. Mm-hmm. And every time the Cowboys don't do well on offense, we always go to, well, they play better with tempo. They play better with tempo. And so I just don't think we can go, oh, well, they should have slowed down when fast is what's working and fast is what we want from them. And
I agree with you.
I think that, yeah, I don't think McCarthy gives you an advantage on game days. I don't think that the things that they do are great. I do think that on the second CD touchdown, the best part is if that wasn't a touchdown to CD, it was going to be a touchdown to Jake Ferguson. Mm-hmm. Because what made all of that happen is they made San Francisco adjust to them in that moment when Jake Ferguson's in motion at the snap, and now a safety's trying to come downhill late to cover him in the flats, and guess what? He was actually going out and up. So even if they cleanly got past each other, he'd be coming downhill while Jake's turning up and CD's taking his corner out of there, and we're throwing a touchdown anyway. Like, yeah, like there's plays that they run and then they work, and you're like, why don't you run all of them all the time? And like they're trying to run the good plays, I promise.
But look, Jeff,
yes, then they went static.
I understand, Jeff, and you're not wrong, right? But I think this is what everybody's kind of upset about. We're not just Cowboy fans. We're football fans. So when we watched Tampa Bay earlier, right, and they're dealing with injuries, there's things that the coaches can do to keep you competitive. Or we're watching Jameis Winston and the Browns. They're dealing with injuries. Cooper's gone. You know, Watson ain't good or whatever. But there's things that a good coach can do that can help you in those situations. We're more talented than a lot of teams that do better than us. I don't think we have a terrible offensive line, Jeff.
I'll say not terrible. I'll give you that.
I've seen terrible offensive lines that can run the football. I've seen terrible offensive lines that don't get your quarterback killed. something's going on that's not just the players. To your point, Malik Hooker's probably not good. Donovan Wilson is bad in open space, and we don't have D linemen that, you know what I'm saying? We're down 4 edges. To be fair, outside of CD, we don't really have wide receivers. That's fair.
Yeah.
But I do think we have enough dudes with coaching we can do better than. And look, this game is close, but we got blown out by the 49ers,
Right.
in my personal opinion. We got blown out by the Ravens. We got blown out by the Lions. We got blown out by the Saints. We're better than getting blown out 4 times this year.
It is a weird feeling because like I don't know if I can say that by the end you got blown out because you're holding the football with 3 minutes to go. And if you go score, you win the game.
Sure.
Yes.
But it was the same as Baltimore, where I think it's just a result of being human. And the 49ers are like, we got them.
Yeah.
We're good here. And the Cowboys are like, hey, they think they're good here. Like we can go.
Mm-hmm.
And then they turned back up on the last drive when it's like, hey, we're not good here anymore.
Sure.
So yeah, I think they kind of whipped your ass. And I think Baltimore did the same thing. But I also think that it comes down to like, let's just do the last series, right? The 4 plays.
Mm-hmm.
The very first one, because what a lot of people are going to want is you got to go to CD. You got to go to CD. You got to go to CD. Dak tried to throw a pick to 2 people.
Facts.
To try to throw to CD.
He didn't
right?
see that safety yet. He didn't see Fred at all.
Right. So if
Dak wasn't great.
and if Fred doesn't jump up and touch that ball, Lenore is catching it in his chest. And if not, the
And if
guy
they don't
covering
catch it,
CD
somebody
might pick it
It
off.
was insane.
So like he wants to go to CD.
Sure.
And then you have a second down where I think this is probably a topic for the next segment. What I think went wrong on second down. Dak runs like me now.
Yeah.
Dak can't move no more.
Mm.
That man is a statue. But that's a separate topic. So that's second down, is that he just can't outrun number 99 to give himself a chance to look and make a play, so he has to get rid of it. And then the next 2 plays, Kevontae Turpin you throw a bomb to, and then to Jalen Brooks. You can't tell me you're not allowed to throw to him. They're on the field.
Yes.
That's who I have.
You got to.
And so I think a big part of what's wrong with the Cowboys is that's who you have.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're out there and that's the look and that's the chance I got, I have to throw to who I got.
Right.
And that's who you got.
Why can Ricky Pearsall and Jacob Cohen
Oh, Ricky Pearsall would be our second best player.
He's a first round pick. I get
He'd
it.
be our second best receiver.
I get it. But when Brandon Ayuk and Juwan Jennings and, Debo.
Because Kyle
is
Shanahan's
out,
better at this than Mike McCarthy is.
I think that's everybody's point.
Yeah.
I think that's everybody's point.
No, you're good. I wanted to, in regard to, late in the game, the Cowboys making a push and everything, you just said that you feel like, the human element of it, the 49ers take it. But I also think this is not just about this year. We've seen this in past years. I think our coaches, I'm about to throw it. I think our coaches take a little bit more time to get information. And I know that we're waiting for them to counter. Because we saw San Fran came out in the second half. They said, that 6-man front thing y'all doing, we got something for that.
Yeah.
They adjusted to that. You didn't adjust into the fourth quarter. That's, to me, another element of it. And when we talk about the coaching and things, because I remember this last year. The Cowboys were not good in the third quarter last year either. But they had rallies in the fourth quarter, and sometimes they would have rallies so heavy that they would end up blowing the team out. It, to me, feels like maybe they take some time to gather information, and I need my coaches to be able to have a counter to the counter coming in the game. Because those coaches clearly adjusted at the half, and they worked you in the third quarter. It was some Golden State Warriors stuff.
Their coaches are better than our coaches.
We know tater tots.
But could I say that then did your coaches work their coaches in the fourth quarter?
Fair. Because
I don't think they really did. I think that was
you think they
Baltimore all over
took
again. I think they took their foot off the gas.
They also lost Debo in the second.
And
fourth.
what happens is in the Baltimore game, I remember it was a thing where, you get credit for making the plays.
Right.
You get credit for that. But at the same time, Baltimore did what humans do, and they thought they were good.
They kind of chilled out a little bit.
When you look it up, it's going to say they played prevent 0 snaps. So you can say, hey, they weren't in prevent. They weren't in prevent. They're damn sure playing to keep you in front of them.
They were.
Right?
It was off.
You don't have to call it prevent.
It wasn't
you can say they didn't line up in prevent, but I can tell you that they didn't give a damn if you completed a 6-yard pass.
They rushed forward.
And then after it's happened 15 times, they go, oh, crap.
Sure.
Now we got to do something. Because I think what I think happened in the third quarter is they were them and you were you. Shout out to the Cowboys defense in the first half and Brock Purdy playing like crap.
They hung in there.
For fighting. They fought.
Yeah.
And they gave you what they had, and Brock Purdy had some misses and some mistakes, and you fought and you fought and you fought, and that was awesome. And in the third quarter, they were like, instead of throwing it behind Debo on 4th and 3, I will hit Kittle every time that he smokes Donovan Wilson. I'll actually throw him the ball. And they were them and you were you.
And that's a whole nother conversation, big dog. Like, safeties. Super chats.
Well, we're gonna yes, we'll
super
talk
chats.
about safeties. But yeah, we're gonna hit some of the super chats. I don't know if we can hit all of them. I know Botch is
so we're gonna read the 5s, but when I do my show, we're gonna read all of them.
Okay,
read all
of them. 5s and then okay.
But we the 5 and ups for sure. We're gonna hit the 5 and ups. All right. What up, JJ? He ain't saying nothing. He just showing a little love. Appreciate you, dog. You know what I'm talking about? Matt Evans says, all is lost when I don't truly care if we lose. I'm on the tank train. We won't make the playoffs, so let's get a good pick. Your schedule not getting easier. Appreciate you, Matt. Appreciate you, Matt. Jay Liz says, 30-year-old Cowboy fan, maybe the worst age team fan choice possible. That was a lot of words.
Yeah.
He's right.
It's tough to be a 30-year-old Cowboy fan because you never got the good.
Never.
You never
I'm
got
32.
the good.
I'm 32. I missed it all.
31.
Appreciate you. What up, Joe? He says, Kittle is Fleece Johnson and Donovan Wilson is a young inmate again. Sagging. He's a young inmate sagging.
No.
I like
God.
you. I want you.
That's out of pocket. Come on.
No, it ain't.
Yes, it is.
No, it ain't. Mr. Indominus.
We don't promote those
What
things
that mean,
here.
Jeff? He say tank, trade Micah. Did he say trade tank too? No, just tank, just lose the game. Just lose games.
Yeah, we love that.
Trade Micah, keep Dak 88 tight end. Okay, so Jake, the good lineman and the DBs, period. I don't think you can keep all the DBs. We'll talk.
We need a lot of draft picks. We need them to be good.
Bye.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
You there.
Says, shouts out to the team being tank ready just in time for the worst college football class since 2016. You're not looking for a quarterback. You're not looking for a quarterback.
You're not picking a quarterback.
Chill out.
Anyway. But we will talk about the quarterback.
Toad Pock Shakur says, Stars jersey right there. Put it on. I would not. And improve your life. Plenty of room on the band. What is Stars? It's like women basketball?
No, it's the hockey team, man.
Oh, I'm sure. My fault.
And they're good. Make sure you're watching the DLLS Stars pre- and post-game shows.
Yes.
That's what it is, Sanguine?
Mavs
Tyler
just started
Sagan.
to check those guys out.
Let's say pink.
We'll get back to the super chats. Hey, we're going to talk about the quarterback next.
That's a defensive end number.
We're going to talk about the quarterback next on the Cowboys DLLS podcast. But before we do, I'm going to tell you about my friends at HelloFresh. Boy, when that package hit on Wednesday, I was just talking to Katya upstairs a little while ago. She made the pasta dish. I made the ground beef one and the potatoes. HelloFresh is great because I'm bad at grocery shopping and I'm bad at recipes. So what they do is, bam, it's already portioned out there. Get you a little one sheet like, here's how you could make this one if you'd like. And you just follow the directions. They got your portions right. They got the kind of meals you want. Oh, HelloFresh is so good. And what you need to know about is how to get your hookup, which is the show code FREE Cowboys on HelloFresh. You can get 10 free meals at HelloFresh.com/free Cowboys. Applied across 7 boxes. New subscribers only, varies by plan, but that's 10 free HelloFresh meals just by going to HelloFresh.com/free Cowboys. It's tasty. It's delicious. It's convenient. It's awesome. And I love it. Shout out to my friends at HelloFresh.
Oh, it was good.
What was that sound? Okay. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. That was an endorsement from Maisha.
Yes.
Also, shout out to our friends at Roback. You need the code DLLS Cowboys 20. So use it or else. What they do is they make all sorts of wonderful active wear. If you're a golfer, you need some Roback. You need the shorts, the pants, the polos that do the whicking for you. Roback is incredible. Best looking, best fitting performance polos, collars that don't lose their shape. They got it all. Solids, classic stripes, fun prints, performance hoodies. They're designed for comfort, built for activity, moisture wicking, breathable fabric. That's what they got for you. So use the code DLLS Cowboys 20 on Roback.com for a generous 20% off your first order. That's spelled RHOBACK.com. 20% off all polos, hoodies, and shorts with the code DLLS Cowboys 20. Make sure to check them out, and they'll have you ready for whatever travels or activities that you have.
Okay, so they sell clothes?
Yes.
I thought they like dog stuff. I saw a little dog on the thing, on the logo.
Can we get the lower third? What does the logo look like? Does it look like a dog?
It look like a pup, and I thought they sold like pet stuff.
Oh, that does look like a little dog
It
on
is
Roback.
puppy,
Come
like
on
a
now.
retriever.
Well, you could go
like
like
a Labrador.
you could go hiking in your Roback active wear with your dog.
So they sell sports stuff or they sell clothes?
Yes.
All right.
Performance
I-
hoodie and shorts, but like the golf stuff. Or
Do they
maybe
sell
you go on
dog hoodies?
That's a great
What's the
question.
dog on the logo for? All right.
That's
I'm
a
about
great
to be
question.
Can I drop something, Jeff?
Yeah.
From the
Mike
Twitter
McCarthy
that
get fired?
we can only
Is Rico still sick?
no.
We got to talk about the Rico stuff. We got to talk about that Illuminati stuff.
Rico still
Nui,
sick.
Nui Shrugs is reporting that Diggs came out of the locker room and had some words to Mike Leslie from WFAA about one of his reports this week. He told him that he can't do anything that he can do and did some cursing.
That's not surprising to me.
But what did Mike Leslie say?
Mike
though?
does a lot. Mike's my friend. I like Mike, but Mike
I don't know Mike.
Mike loves he is active on social media and he does a great job with it. And he will get on TV and he'll go hard.
I want to know what he said though.
I don't know.
I
Let's
don't
see. Let's look up Mike Leslie Trayvon Diggs.
While
Let's
you're
just
doing
remember.
that though, Jeff, there's some people in the audience that think that we're protecting Dak Prescott or something like that.
Can I wait 6 seconds on that?
Oh hell
Yes.
Can I tell you that it's time for our Empire Today player of the game?
yeah. What's up, Segway Jones?
And that I think the player of the game is Dak Prescott. I thought he was incredible, pretty much flawless, and no one could do better than Dak did today.
You trying to piss these people off? In the
Don't nobody
chat.
care about these people.
My impact player of the game is George Kittle. George Kittle, because he never got tired of running a slant or a post or an over route just to run away from Donovan Wilson. He had a great time doing that. Congrats to George Kittle.
Sure.
My Empire Today impact player of the game. I just needed to get that in there.
Don't even ask me for one because I don't have nothing positive to say about nobody.
So schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can get $350 off discount when they use the promo code DLLS. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/DLLS for details.
They sell floors.
They sell floors.
Yeah, I was waiting.
What?
It's Vach's turn
To do what?
to say your Empire Impact player.
Oh,
of
he
the
doesn't
game?
want to have one.
Yeah, I ain't
No,
got nothing
he's
nice
good.
say.
He doesn't have
I ain't
one.
got nothing nice to say about these people.
What about Zeke?
Ah.
I just work here sometime.
Dalvin Cook.
Okay. Yeah, I do have one. For me, it would have been Chauncey Golston. I mean, because even in the
Chauncey
second
did.
half, him getting moved back to edge.
I think
Last
Chauncey's
minute.
going to make some money this offseason.
And
With who?
you know what?
You know, like 2 years, 10.
Like
He gonna
10
get
what?
$10 million.
Man, Chauncey's finna make like 2 years, 3.5.
Nah, he'll make more than that.
What he to do what?
He'll make more than that.
To be somebody's third or fourth edge.
Yeah. Can I finish my player?
Damn.
Jeff said it.
Damn.
Gosh dang it.
Damn.
Thought Chauncey Golston played the run incredibly well this game. DT's got blown off the ball and things like that. But as far as him just containing the edge and reading Brock Purdy, he made Purdy make some decisions with his ability to read tonight. And I wanted to highlight him. So he's the only bright spot.
I want to shout out the guy that what's
What'd you
what
say,
you do,
Kat?
Katya?
Oh, I got you. Yeah,
Oh,
okay. Yeah, my
I
fault.
want to shout out the guy that cussed out Mike.
I like, what you want me to take a sip of water? What you want me to do? Okay, go
I
ahead.
want to shout out the guy that cussed out Mike Leslie because boy, Trayvon Diggs can be allergic to tackling a lot
But
of
he
weeks.
tackled well today.
And on this particular week, the 49ers do a lot of stuff. Like they will condense a formation on purpose because
Sure.
it brings your corners into play in the run game. And I watched that dude eat Kyle Juszczyk blocks and not give ground and go sacrifice himself. I watched Trayvon Diggs play tough.
And that's probably why he's so
He's probably fired up now. He's like, I went out there and did the stuff that everybody says that I don't do because I don't, but now I did. So shut
probably
up,
why he's a little
idiot.
fired up
Sure.
because he's like, hey man, he did play. He didn't play bad.
I gotta watch film before I say anything.
Hey, he played tough.
I bet he did.
I don't know if he played well, but he played tough.
We seen it.
I didn't notice him get caught on.
I gotta watch the film.
Only Donovan got caught on.
Can we transition to that part of things?
I think we have to make the Dak people happy.
I'm about to throw up.
People need us to talk about Dak
Yes, we have to talk about him in a negative light to make them feel better.
to make people feel better.
I'm not
Yes.
saying nothing to make nobody feel better because I don't really fool with the temporary mad people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Vach, you just lost all credibility talking about, and then we watch the film and we go, damn, 3 wide receivers in the same place out of bounds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
Or-
the hard part.
You know what I mean? So I normally like to hold on to the broad statements until I watch the film. I mean, the pass blocking up front wasn't great at all. And on Dak's worst of worst play, Dak does have some nonsensical plays. I'm like, what is he doing?
And that's the part that is annoying me.
The big nonsense play.
Because we are smart enough football people, to your point, Vosh, to go look at the film, to look at the situation around him, to look at the lack of run game, all these things.
Sure.
Yes, he is very smart.
I'm just here.
We are smart enough to do that. But
You saying that nobody else here is? You taking shots at the audience, ma'am?
we have the resources to do that. I don't tater tots.
You know I just like trolling.
Yes.
I'm just
We have the
jabbing.
resources to do that. So it's like, okay, we're gonna go look at that stuff so we can explain the situation around him.
Sure.
Front office, all this blah 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 blah. But when he does that type of stuff,
Mhm.
you can't explain some of that.
If the pocket is perfect and we throw it right to the other team,
Yes.
that's on Dak Prescott.
That's not good.
But also
You know,
to just like that CD,
forcing the ball to CD.
yeah, like along the sideline, like it just was like, bro, throw it away. But he's
Sure.
always had that in him. No, he wants to extend plays,
Brett Favre.
and he still has not. He has those times where he just wants to make a play. Like, bro, no, honey, it's quite literally not there.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Let me tell you what I love about Brock Purdy. Even though I do think he's phony, if he doesn't think he can make the throw, I don't think he'll try to make it. You know what I'm saying? So if you pick off Brock Purdy, you've earned it. I think Dak tries to make every single throw when in real life he should just like take the sack and just live to fight another day.
Mhm.
But him forcing a throw, it ends up being picked. So it ends up being picked or whatever. And even though I don't think Dak is notoriously turnover guy, but this year and the year before, he's like turnover guy. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, what that means to me is there's a little fix that need to be made. Maybe there's something, play calling, head coach, I don't know, something that's happening with him that should chill Dak out a little bit, kind of like last year.
No, that's a fantastic point. I mean, I can tell you half of it right now. You still can't run the ball.
You can't run the ball.
You're one dimensional again.
I mean, what happened to Rico? Why he ain't played today?
Jeff has the explanation.
I don't know why he didn't play today.
Jeff, what happened to Rico today?
Do tell us.
I don't know why he didn't play today. I mean, I floated theories.
What you think
But
happened,
they were
Jeff?
reckless theories that obviously aren't true. Like I
Let's
accused
get
Jerry
fired.
or Zeke of poisoning him.
Don't.
Because if Dalvin Cook is active, who's
Jeff,
going to be inactive?
You know I'm not allowed to cuss on here, Jeff. Why would you
Get us
say something
fired.
that's going to make me cut? You know
Where are
FCC
you?
ready to fine us. Why would you make me say something like that?
Well,
I have no idea. I mean, I think that Rico was a healthy scratch, and they lied. That would be my guess.
It's all nonsense, Jeff. I think it's
And
nonsense.
yeah, I think it's all silliness. But can we circle back to it?
absolutely. Sorry about
Because
that.
it's Dak things.
Dak,
Yeah.
I want
Sorry.
to do some Dak things. Because the thing about Dak is I'll get called a Dak homer because there are a lot of people out there that hate Dak and always have.
Sure.
And there is no evidence, nothing could happen that would make them think he's good. They've decided he wasn't good either because he was a 4th round pick or for who knows what other reasons. But there are people who don't like Dak, and so he just has always sucked. If you are saying that the 2024 version of Dak is making too many poor decisions and too many throws that he shouldn't make or that he's pressing too hard or whatever, and you have actual criticism of 2024 Dak while acknowledging that, oh, yeah, he's a really good NFL quarterback, then you're a normal human, and we could talk about Dak. So, like, you have to acknowledge going into it that this team lacks playmakers. They absolutely cannot run the ball. The protection is iffy at different times. Blah, 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 blah. It's hard to succeed when you have that. But, like, Pat Mahomes' team is undefeated. Pat Mahomes hasn't been good this year.
Yeah.
And his team's undefeated
Yeah.
because football's a team sport. And sometimes your defense is just badass and keeps you in it. You just got to make a couple plays and woohoo, we did it. Pat threw his first touchdown in October this week. Congrats. The thing that I don't like about Dak is it's becoming more and more clear he can't move no more at all. Like, I don't like that. There were multiple decisions and throws in this game that were terrible. And with what your team is, with the talent that you don't have, you can't do that. If Dak does that, if Dak makes 2 or 3 decisions a week that are that bad, you're dead. He can't do it. He has to be better than that.
He does.
So I can say all of those things and acknowledge what's happening and be critical of the way that Dak saw something or made a decision and all of that. But if you want the answer to be that Dak sucks, it would require ignoring 8 years of evidence to the contrary, And if you want to say Dak's a turnover machine, it would require literally lying to everyone because he's one of the least turnover-prone quarterbacks in the history of the sport. So like, what we're not going to do is just lie and say the guy sucks.
What we not going to do.
But I will say that the last 2-3 weeks, if he continues to play that way and continues to make 2 or 3 plays a week where he either doesn't see it, thinks he can do something he can't, whatever, you don't have that luxury.
You can't
just
overcome
don't.
that. Yeah, you can't overcome. Like,
This team's not good enough for you to have 2 disastrous plays. Can't do it.
Yeah, I mean,
Can't do it.
I mean,
The Lions don't ask Jared Goff to carry them.
boy, they tell him don't do nothing.
He has to walk a very tough line of, if we win, it's going to be because you are amazing and you do a ton. However, you cannot approach every play that way.
Sure.
You have to play within yourself and make the right decisions consistently. The weight of the world and our winning is on your shoulders, but you can't think and play that way, play in and play out. You just have to play good football.
I want to comment on that once we come back.
Oh, we got to do some stuff? Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, we got Dak. We got who poisoned Rico. How is Rico? Is he okay? Because he got sick.
Man, Rico
We're
signed
gonna
autographs
to
and
go to
kicking it.
jail.
We're going to
chilling.
check in on Rico and make sure that he's well and healthy. And we'll do all those things next on the Cowboys DLLS podcast. Postgame podcast. Shout out to our guys at Shady Rays. I wish I'd brought mine in. I was wearing them all day today, but we're indoors, and I don't tend to be the indoor sunglasses guy, but I love my Shady Rays.
I'm that guy.
Okay. I got the aviators, but they got all sorts of different versions of polarized sunglasses. If you like the sportsy ones, if you like I don't know the names of all the glasses because I'm an aviators guy. I know what I want. I just want the aviators. But they got all sorts of different ones. Whatever you think is your favorite kind of sunglass, guess what? They got it at Shady Rays. And they're absolutely awesome. If you don't love your Shady Rays, you can exchange them for a new pair, return them worry-free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back with personal and fast support. They're awesome. They probably have a style that's in your favorite team's colors, whatever you want. Mine are, I think, purplish, and they're badass. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com. Use the code DLLS for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. That's a lot. Also, shout out to our friends at Constant Contact, where you need the code ALLCITY. Let's talk about goals. How do you track the ones for your business that you set earlier this year? You close? If not, do you know why you haven't hit them yet? Here at DLLS, we have goals for subscribers and views and all of those different things, and you track them throughout the year, and you're constantly looking for how can I hit these goals. Constant Contact has what it takes to help you meet your goals and do it faster. You no longer need to struggle with expensive, slow, and unmeasurable approaches to marketing your business. Tap email marketing that helps you create and send the perfect email to every customer. Own the smartphone by adding texting to your marketing strategy. All of these different things Constant Contact can help you with. Join the thousands of businesses, millions of people who trust Constant Contact with their marketing success. Time to put the go in your 2024 business goals with email, social, SMS, customized marketing campaigns built for you. Ready, set, go to ConstantContact.com/AllCity. Start that free trial today. The word trial got me because I was trying to go fast.
You killed it.
Got close. Where were we?
I wanted to comment on the Dak thing.
Okay.
Because I was looking at because I've been watching him, and his mechanics are just not up to par. And I know that is something that he takes very seriously. It's weird, and I know a lot of it.
He might not trust his blocking.
Like his feet or his arms. Because if it's his feet, it's definitely the dudes in front of him.
It's the feet, but I know the answer. It's one, we talked about it. It's one thing for one of your tackles to not be playing well, but for both of your peripheral, like for both guys to not be playing well.
Life's hard.
Sure.
How do you, I think his clock is really, it's either slowed down sometimes or it's sped up.
Yeah.
And to your point, you sometimes he's too fast, right? So sometimes he's going through his reads faster than I would like him to, or he's just releasing the ball because he's rushed. Sometimes there were times he was in the pocket, to your point, Jeff, and he has time and it's clean, but there aren't guys that are open. So it's like, so then by the time he's through that fifth read, guys are like chasing him from behind. And that's what I'm saying. I think his clock, to your point about the running, I agree he is slower. But I think that a lot of it too is his clock is not where it needs to be right now. And that's why he's taking off late, like so late to where they're catching him. I think if he was a little bit faster, that he would be able to at least get some yardage out of these situations where he's escaping up the middle. That's what I think.
When he's going through it in the pocket, and it's like when he decides it's time to go, though, there's a wagon hitched. Back there. My guy can't go.
It just looks like he's in mud. But I think part of that too is because of the foot mechanics. Because with some of this stuff, depending on what his drop is, how many steps are in his drop, he would be going into his drop, stepping, read, and he can go off of the right foot. Like if I'm not mistaken, like he should be in rhythm when he's taking off in these instances and some instances too. So it's like, I don't know. And we even talked about it. There's times where he should be taking the ball on these RPO situations. He's not. And I'm like,
you don't want to.
Does he? But he literally said it at the beginning of the season. Like,
I know.
I gotta run more.
That's why I'm saying he don't want to.
Do they not want to do they not want to risk it? Does he not want to risk it? Is it too much to lose at this point?
You have to risk it. Your team's not good enough to not have that be part of your offense.
Well, like maybe that's the conversation because it's like, what? How are we not doing that at all? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Or we should just block the backside ends. I would love it if we would just block the backside ends.
Because he's feeling,
we're running read option. And we reading the backside end because Dak be looking at him. Because when we watch the film,
he looks straight.
He look right at the back, but he hands it off every time. And the pool is wide open.
Yes.
And I go, okay, I'm just doing the camera and the microphone. But if I saw, I pull and I go.
Yeah. Yes.
But he doesn't. It's just a loss.
It's weird because he watches it happen. It's like.
So if I'm Mike McCarthy, instead of calling 33, all right, let me call 33 cut or 33 split so we could deal with the backside guy.
Yes.
But we don't do that. Also, I think Dak runs now because he's muscle memoried himself into, oh, my tackle died. Step up, move this way. Mm-hmm. My tackle died. Step up, move the other way, right?
He's not improvising.
So back in the day, and I say this all the time jokingly, but it's real talk. When Cam Fleming was out there being terrible, or Cam Irvin was out there being terrible, or Ty Nsekhe was out there being terrible,
Chaz Green,
or Chaz Green was Tony.
Was that Tony?
Chaz was Dak.
Chaz was Dak.
When Chaz Green was out there being when Chaz Green was out there being terrible, at least the other side didn't die. Right? So now Dak at least knows, okay, well, this is what my count is over here. If both of your outsides is dying, and let's just keep it a buck. Sometimes your right guard is getting whooped a little bit too.
And sometimes your center. Better today.
Today.
BB was solid for what I could see.
So.
But your outsides and definitely your right guard, if those guys getting whooped, now you're not just thinking about what's happening downfield. Now you're thinking about setting up what's in front of you and then your downfield stuff. Hey, look, no excuse though, because Dak gets paid $60 million, so he has to process this stuff.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what. I've seen worse offense. I seen James Winston do it. I see Baker Mayfield running around and making it work today. So I mean, Dak be better, but Mike be better.
Guys who don't run real fast can still scramble, and Brock Purdy.
But the offensive, you mentioned that with the offensive line, you don't think that this, and I've felt like that all year. I'm like, you know what? They're not that good, but I feel like we've seen other teams be able to find success with less. Even last year. We expected for them to be better, and they weren't. Do you think this is a technique thing?
I think Solari is horrific. I think
let
me say this in the microphone.
That's the offensive line
My
coach.
bad. Yo, Cat, let me make sure I'm saying this.
I was trying to set you up,
I think Mike Solari's terrible.
No, in a good way.
Mike Solari's terrible. And you know Mike Solari's look, we should have knew this was a sign when he went to Duke in the offseason. He was like, man, dude, what you think I should do?
Get away from me.
And hell no.
Did he take any of the advice?
Yo, nope.
Bye.
Yo, Duke, let's try to get on the same page. But the offensive line coach went to go get some help. I don't like Joe. Look, I miss Joe Philbin, Kellen Moore, and Dan Quinn. Can I say that?
Sure.
I miss Joe Philbin.
I miss Joe Philbin real bad.
I miss Joe
Doug Nussmeier is super underrated.
Now, look, I miss the crew before them a little more than them. But it's just, man, we look terrible right now. And to your point,
give Bill Callahan $1 billion to come back.
To your point, we do see worse offensive lines play better, but our guys have played better than the worst that they playing right now. Jeff, I know that's a lot of words.
Say it again. Say it again.
I forgot what I said. But our guys that are playing bad right now are better than what they playing like worse than right now.
You added some that you didn't even need at the end.
I forgot. But we okay. How about we not this damn bad?
Okay, there you go.
Our guys, what I say?
I don't know. Yeah, you just added in some like extra.
We not
worse.
as bad as we've been today, tomorrow.
Than what we've been doing.
Yeah.
But our guys ain't that bad.
You just kind of did some Jerry stuff, really.
At the end of the day, like you, Jeff.
But we're not that bad, dog. But we're bad for some reason this year. But whatever.
Yeah, we'll do some supers. But let's go to Joe. We got Joe. Our guy Joe Hoyt, one of the 2 best beat writers to ever cover the Cowboys.
And
Joe
he's
Hoyt.
not 2.
And he's in Santa
And he's not 2.
Clara.
It's competitive here.
What's up, Brody?
Joe, have you given my best wishes and my healing vibes to Rico Dowdle, who came down with a very sudden illness right before the game? That was wild.
That's some fast sickness, boy.
Hopefully he's feeling better.
Yeah, no, he got some good vibes, I guess, after. But he looked okay. Like, that's the crazy thing. I mean, we'll find out more. We didn't hear much about that in postgame. Honestly, a lot of the talk in postgame was about just, another loss to San Francisco, kind of the boogeyman, and how frustrating it is. There was a clear sense of frustration in this Cowboys locker room. You saw it with Trayvon Diggs. I don't know if you guys have seen the clip yet. Trayvon Diggs came out of the locker room early to confront the media, a specific media member, about a tweet post-game, and that was immediately, didn't like the wording of it. And that honestly kind of encapsulated a lot of fight that the Cowboys had today.
Wow.
Okay, so Trayvon got on Twitter real quick, huh?
He's on the Twitter.
Very quick. He was still in his full pads. Yeah.
Oh, no.
We could talk about it more. Talk about these nuts.
Hey, Joe.
Let's go, Trey.
Oh, my God. He said talk about these nuts.
I need to see what Mike tweeted. I didn't know.
Any injury news for us, Joe, coming out of that game?
The only guy that really, had something happen was Amani Arourier, and, he was walking in the locker room, looked okay. We didn't get an official update on him yet. Clarence was in McCarthy. I was in the locker room, so maybe McCarthy talked about it. Kind of a mad scramble here right now. But basically, the thing I just keep coming back to, this team is definitely showing frustrations. I think the defense, specifically, we talked to a lot of guys from them who said, hey, we kind of finally found like we were close. We were doing well against the run defense in the first half. And then the third quarter, everything got away from them. So, obviously the inconsistency is now the big storyline about this Cowboys defense.
Joe, did anybody ask Mike McCarthy why Terrence Steele was trusted to deal with Nick Bosa by himself? And look, I understand if it's part of your game plan to go, you know what? Let's see what Terrence has with, Nick Bosa today, right? But at some point in the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, like, why not the adjustment? Why not any changes over there?
No, that's a good question. I didn't hear that in the brief postgame that I heard from McCarthy. But I'll tell you this. Right now, this team kind of has an adjustment problem and, on the list of their problems right now. If you look at what they've been doing in the third quarter this year, that's been a huge bugaboo for them. They immediately felt like the doors were blown off in the second half this time around compared to the first half at home. They got an adjustment issue. And clearly, to your point, Botch, they didn't make a good enough adjustment in the second half.
Thank you, Joe. I'm going to go watch this video. I'm going to watch Trayvon yell at Mike.
Salute.
Hit this here. Mike just wanted, he said we could talk about it.
Can Joe see us? Because I just kind of waved at him like, all right, Joe.
He said that they have an adjustment problem.
Okay, he can hear us, though.
The whole play. Oh, easy. We could talk about it more. What were you doing?
He can't cuss, though, Joe, so you got to make sure he don't cuss.
I wouldn't worry about all that. See, but apparently there was a D's nuts in there somewhere.
We didn't cuss. Trey did.
Yeah, I would never cuss. Let's hit some of the super chats. Man, shut up. That's a hell of a name. I like that.
What him say? Thurpin.
Thurpin?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Inside joke. Thurpin has to make that catch. Well, Jesse Holly tweeted, and he was like, yeah, I'm never trusting Turpin to make that kind of catch.
He's on the field.
What? But see, Jeff, this is my thing, though. Do you trust Thurpin on the sideline, very tight window with a dude draped on him, or would you rather throw it to him when he's like crossing the field with somebody?
I'd rather throw to everybody open, but you're on the field.
I think,
and you're supposed to be my run fast guy. You're running down there. I'm gonna drop it in the bucket, catch the damn ball.
Well, Jeff, you wouldn't run a 9 route with Zeke just because he's on the field. Everybody kind of got this thing that they're good at that you should and should not do with him, and maybe
Oh, you're trying to Garrett everybody? Trying to say this is all you got and this is what you going to do? So everybody can know exactly what you're going to do?
I miss Jason Garrett a little bit.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Oh,
All right,
wow.
let's go to Clarence. Let's see if he got these nutsed by anybody. Yeah, let's do the Die Hard thing, and then we'll get to Clarence. Clarence Hill, one of the two best beat writers in the history of the Cowboys, is going to join us with all of the scoops next on the Cowboys DLLS postgame podcast show party.
Here you go. Featuring Voch Lombardi.
Featuring Voch Lombardi, the greatest Cowboys content creator to ever live. And thank you. If you're watching on his channel, if you're watching on my channel, also please subscribe to the youtube.com/@DLLS_sports
Yes.
and catch our
Click
shows
that
all week.
button.
And if you're a DFW sports fan, watch all the effing shows. You kidding me? And sign up to be a diehard. Because why wouldn't you? You're a diehard of your local teams, and we're covering every single one of them right here. And you can get all of the premium content. And we're building the biggest and best community of Dallas sports fans, and we want you to be part of it. So much so that we're giving you a special offer, lowest rate ever. Become a DLLS diehard today for just $4 a month. Billed annually. That's right, $48 a year. Get you a free T-shirt, our exclusive written content, plenty of discounts, access to our Discord lounge where we talk about feet picks. Well,
Jeff.
Huh?
we talk about whatever. It's just if you're in there, you're in the club.
Include-
And we jump, if you want to talk about feet picks, I'll talk
It ain't
about
safe.
feet picks.
It ain't safe.
I'm going to get in the Discord right after this show.
You know
Oh,
this.
you
And
in
if
a
anybody
rush?
want to talk about feet picks,
Oh, you in a rush?
I
You
will
gonna talk?
be there.
I'll be damned.
Stop.
I don't know which channel it'll be in, but I will be there. Sign up to be a diehard, or else.
It's gonna be in the Blue Chew channel. That's what
Or
it's gonna be.
else.
gonna be in that
Speaking of
Blue
Blue Chew,
No, sir.
here's Clarence Hill.
What you mean speaking of? Why he giggling?
What's up,
What
guys?
you
We
mean
got
speaking of?
2,000
He started
people
giggling.
online this late. That is awesome.
Clarence.
What happened?
How you doing, man? Y'all hear me well?
Hey,
Yeah,
Clarence.
we hear you. Any of the players yell at you?
No one yelled at me. No one's going to yell at me.
Oh, muffin.
Oh,
No one's going to yell at me. But, it was interesting. And, Mike talked about the ability to fight back. And Dak talked about them not quitting. And they're not going to quit at 3-4. But they were certainly frustrated. Dak said it's frustrating. And he used the SIH word on there.
Okay.
It's frustrating with his turnovers and certainly frustrating with them not getting it done and continue to lose to this team as they have done the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, this one feels like you go to, was it 3-4? Philly went to 5-2. Washington went to 6-2. You kind of see it slipping away. And now it's just, I don't know, maybe it's every week feels like a must win. But now I feel like if you go to Atlanta and you don't win the game, we can go ahead and pack the whole thing up.
Yeah.
No, it can get ugly. And it certainly was looking like it was getting ugly when it became, 30-10?
Something like that.
Or 27-10, I guess. But, and the Cowboys somehow got their offense back to life. It was interesting. I don't remember last time the Cowboys had a lead against this team, and the fact that they were leading in the second quarter, leading at halftime, you had a thought that maybe things would be different, but it seemed like it was the inevitable was going to happen because the 49ers were shooting themselves in the foot with penalties. It wasn't like they were really stopping them in the first half. They just had all those holding penalties that would set them back and set drives back. And when they got going in the third quarter, just the way the Cowboys have been outscored in the third quarter, it seemed like other teams make adjustments. They didn't. Dak acknowledged he that was a boneheaded interception. He should have thrown the ball away. But Mike McCarthy said that it was his mistake. It was a bad play call, and it was a bad concept of a play call and a bad concept of a play.
Yeah.
He's finally admitting it.
Yeah, it was a bad. He said he should have. That was on him, and so you look at those things like that, and of course they were upset about the offensive pass interference penalty that they got picked back up on the Purdy on the Kittle touchdown, and of course at the end of the game they felt that they had a pass interference that didn't get called on 83 on the fourth down play. But you look at the play before, should Turpin have caught that ball? I think so.
Yeah.
But when you're throwing deep balls to a 5'7" receiver, it's tight. I mean, that's you have to be perfect, and he's not a perfect receiver. He has speed. The first interception, Dak, he got hit, and he said he should have eaten that ball because he couldn't get enough on it. That's a play call they liked. That's a matchup they wanted. But again, when you throw someone up to a 5'7" receiver, he's not gonna be able to fight for the ball, and he couldn't get enough out there on the ball, and so the safety was able to come over. But those turnovers were the difference in the game. At the end of the game, it was a one-score game. You third quarter, that interception in the third quarter, they score. That was the difference in the game. Dak has to play better. He knows it.
Clarence, did anyone ask why they kind of decided to stop running the ball in the third quarter?
That's interesting because they did stop running the ball. I don't know that they were running it that well. I mean, you saw some stuff on that one drive in the second quarter, but then you look at those drives later in the second quarter. They couldn't get much done, couldn't get much going. But yeah, Mike McCarthy talked about, first of all, he said that our inability to block, they had to keep people in, which you only have 3 receiver routes was allowed. Which is why we always talk about why there's nobody open, because everybody's in trying to block and they couldn't block them. And then they couldn't run the ball. And they wanted to be able to run the ball, and they couldn't run the ball when they needed to. And yes, you could say they stopped, but you got to have belief in the running game. What do you believe in? Yes, it looked like they were running well early, and it looked like they were doing well early, but was it really? I mean, you look at the comparison to how the 49ers run the game, running the ball, and what they were doing, and there was some confidence in their running game. I don't think there was a lot of confidence in the Cowboys running game. Talked to Mike McCarthy about Rico. He said he did get sick. They ran him through all kind of tests before the game. He was clearly ill. He says he's our leading rusher. He's the guy we want to get the ball to. He was sick. No conspiracy. He was sick.
Yeah.
So Clarence, let me ask you something. Vash Lombardi, DLLS. Listen. So let's just assume Rico was sick. Was he sicker than Deebo Samuel sick? Because Deebo Samuel was sick, and he has hospital proof and a damn doctor's note about how sick he was. We could see the IV needles. We could see him getting fluids all up. He was puffing and puffing on the sideline, right? So we see how sick Deebo was. Was Rico that sick to where he couldn't play football at all, sir? Not even a pitch count. He just couldn't play football at all.
I think there's two different thought processes when you're talking about a Pro Bowler who's a proven performer and somebody who's just the best of what you got.
But that's your best running back, though.
Yeah, but the best of what you got. And he's not like he's a Pro Bowl difference-making running back. I think that, if he's not going to be 100%, I'll take my chance with the other guys who, if they're healthy, may be better. But Deebo, you're going to give him a chance because he's Deebo Samuel, and you know what he can do. Listen, we can talk all day about how Rico being the best back on the team, but it's not like he's a difference-making back.
I don't think Rico was sick, and I think Rico was a big reason why you was able to win a tough game in Pittsburgh. Rico's not a superstar, but if you give Rico the ball, Rico can be better than what Zeke gave today. Just my own personal opinion.
I understand it, but Rico almost lost that game in Pittsburgh, not for Dak Prescott.
That was one play, but I think most of the time Rico was effective for you.
Let's tell the whole story on that.
Well, Rico was trying to set Dak up to be a hero, and he did it. It was great. It was being a good teammate. He knew Dak takes too much crap from people. Is it just 2024, or or is it a big old sign of exactly how this team is feeling, that one of the best players on the team goes into the locker room and clearly searches his own name on social media while still wearing pads and immediately leaves the locker room to yell at a media member before he's taking his pads off?
Let's remember, Des Bryant used to do that stuff. They get on the locker room, Des Bryant and that receiving core with Beasley and my boy from Baylor, they would be searching their name on Twitter, back in those days. This is not new. This is part of this generation.
Well, I tweeted that he was being tough and taking on use check blocks. Do you think that he's going to hit reply to me and say thank you so much for the kind work?
It may be, but again, it's part of the frustration of the season. And certainly, you need to be worried about more things than that at this point, for sure. But this is not a new phenomenon for this generation of players. Again, Dez and Beasley and those guys did that years ago.
Yeah, Cole Beasley would always tell people to eat a bag of stuff, and I thought that was really fun.
Excuse me.
All right, Clarence, thanks. See you later.
All right, man. I'm taking the red eye back so I can be there with you tomorrow morning. So
we got stuff
I'll be
to talk
sleepy,
about.
but I'll be there.
That's right.
Get some sleep.
All right,
one of the two best beat writers in the history of the Dallas Cowboys, him and Joe Hoyt.
Fantastic.
Toss up.
I'm tired.
Fantastic.
We got a bunch of super chats. I know, Aisha, you want to get some safety stuff before we get out?
No.
No.
Man, we almost at an hour.
Yeah, we about.
Y'all can talk about it tomorrow.
No, we just do
We
super
can talk about
chats.
safeties tomorrow. We can rattle through some of these super
Let's
chats.
just do
Hey, look, y'all got a whole week to fill up now. It's 11:40.
Voch got a whole nother damn show to do. Please hit the like button too. All
I
right,
ain't
let's
doing that
knock
show
out
now.
some of the big boys. How about that?
How you doing that show now?
Oh, nice. Let's be real. Nesto, let's be real. Dak had 2 picks, but Dono lost us that game. He got Kittle going. He needs to be benched.
I'm not gonna talk. We talking about it tomorrow.
Any DLLS? Anybody got Leonard Fournette or T.Y. Hilton's number?
What?
Thank you for the super chat. I think that's about Dalvin Cook and Zeke.
Yeah,
Like, if that's who you got, is there anybody else who's recently retired that you want to put on the team?
You can leave Leonard and T.Y. right. And honestly, I think that the 49ers are constantly proving that the late round pick running back dudes are like just fine if you just kind of, block if you block well.
Yeah,
and
they're
like
23
scheme
years
well.
old.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they can run.
Who's faster, Dak or Zeke? Both moving slower than molasses. Well,
Zeke's faster, but I could beat Dak in a race.
Zeke's faster than Dak?
Yeah.
Because he might be.
Yeah, I think if they ran a 40, I think Dak runs about a 5.1, and Zeke probably runs a 4.8, 4.9.
Not a 5.1.
He ran a 4.8 at the combine.
That's hyperbole, Jeff.
Are you sure you can?
I could beat Dak in a foot race. I mean, I would hurt the next day because I haven't opened up in a while. I haven't opened up and sprinted in a while, but I think I could go under 5.
I can run a 4.9.
I was
don't know
this close to the NFL.
I can run a 4.9. I wasn't close to the NFL, but I can run a 4.9.
I used to have a 4.6, so like I was faster than Dak's ever been. I am old and broken, but I think I could beat Dak in a foot race.
No.
I don't know if I could beat Zeke. I think we'd both be really pushing that 4.8. 4.9.
Element says, appreciate you.
He needs to go.
I'm on the ice drift tank with Jeff. That can be better with help. We just need to
Suck to get it.
pause to get it. That can elevate
Jags.
and a dude.
And a dude. What
Like
is-
Jacksonville Jaguar type players and a dude.
I don't
I
know.
guess that's what it means.
It's time to beat ass for Ashton. Ashton GT.
Ash for Ashton is crazy.
Bro, I appreciate that Dak is here every week.
Yeah,
Dak,
shouts out
Dak
to
jumps in the
Let's see
super
what he
chat.
said. Let's see what Dak says. Dak said, I can't read it.
He said the
I can't read it. He
defense
says,
is played their ass off tonight. I didn't play well enough for the team to win. Yes, those 2 turnovers, I tried to force it. I try to make those plays because the team needs a spark. I don't have the wheels anymore.
all right, man. Appreciate you, Dak. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, Dak.
Thanks for tuning in, my guy. Who this is? Says Marquise Bell and Wanye Thomas must not be able to pick up Zimmer's defense. Can't figure out why they can't get on the field. Politics. Why they can't get on the field. I think Dak's foot is hurting. Marquise Bell got sick this morning too, I guess. And Wanye, I actually love Wanye's toughness here. Wanye started the fight that kind of kicked off the energy for your team or whatever.
He started the fight that started your team's fight.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know why. If the defense is that complicated, it must be complicated for Donovan and Malik also. So whatever. What up, Duck? How many times do you see that last Turpin target get caught by another receiver on the opposing team? It happens.
Good amount of the time.
It happens, and it was a perfect throw from Dak. But
Yeah.
it
ain't like he had to be 6'4" and go climb the ladder for it. He was running straight and it hit him in his hands. Catch the ball.
hit him in his face. What up, Jay? He says, why does it feel like McCarthy is coaching like he's sabotaging his seat? Hey, that's conspiracy. Calling the timeout prior to that's fair. He did kind of burn through his timeouts when he didn't need to. Calling the timeout prior to a punt with a little over 3 minutes.
It's just a matter of what order you want to use him in. He was just using it right then to give himself that 3 minutes and whatever, or you could have let them punt it, run 40-second off, and called a timeout after your first down play. It doesn't matter. It's just order. Order operations.
I think Mike McCarthy's pretty bad at clock management. I think most coaches are.
I think they all are.
I think most coaches are.
Yes, I agree.
But Mike is horrible at
Yeah,
it.
he's bad.
Mike's horrible at it.
He's bad.
Jep says Adrian Claiborne sends his regards to Chaz Green. This wasn't that kind of game, dog. We haven't seen an Adrian Claiborne type game.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, that was just terrible. And JJ says, are the Mikes experiencing mental decline? Just strange to see the stubbornness.
There's a lot of mental decline these days.
I think Zimmer did the best that he possibly could.
I agree.
It just collapsed at the end. I don't think turnovers were good for you. I don't think the Cowboys turned the ball over helped at all. But I just think, man, hey guys, I think they did enough for the offense for our offense to try to win the game for him. But
I agree.
Game is game.
I agree. I mean, I thought some of the blitzes he did were timely. Some of that bringing bringing Overshown off the edge and things like
Ridiculous.
that. But when you just can't get pressure,
Yeah, you don't have guys that can win.
Yeah.
you don't have guys that
That's
can win
hard.
individually. Like his hands are tied.
Hey, we need you, Micah.
Bad.
You have to play against Atlanta.
Some people say that's another Mike that ain't doing good too.
I have spoken. Micah must play. Maybe Bland too. AO got banged up. We're banged up. All right, we'll talk more. I bet Vach will talk more when he gets home.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk.
I'm going to bed. That's a night
Vach's
game.
going to
I'm
bed.
going to sleep.
We'll talk in the morning about all of the things. Thanks for being here. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you're subscribed to DLLS. And if you're not subscribed to Vach Lombardi's page and you're watching somewhere else, go to Voch.
Who?
Go to Voch's. Go to Voch's. I'm Jeef. Make sure you go to Jeef's page also. They lost.
Don't say
It's
your
late.
name. Don't say your name wrong just because I said
He's having tantrum.
Y'all hold down, man. We'll catch y'all next time. Just be nice people. You never know what nobody's going through, man. So just be cool. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hold down, man. Peace.
Doski Woskis.
Shalom.
Peace, Whiskey.
We all silly like the mayor.